Jaykinder, my name is Mike Franklin. I was given your contact information by Bob Kelly, EXP, and Bob suggested I give you a call. I watched some of your videos, one particular about time management, so I thought I'd make this video to be sensitive to your pig-headedness towards time management. I certainly don't want to waste your time. One of the first things that caught my interest was your NAEA trailer, and it's exactly the way that I think. And so I've got some concepts I'd like to relay to you. You know, Bob's been working with me. We're trying to get some interest together to try to execute some initiatives within an EXP. Perhaps they could be additions to your curriculum. But also, if executed, it could help the agents at EXP become more profitable to generate multiple streams of income. And let me tell you how I came to be. You talk about a round peg in a square hole. I came into the real estate business as a computer consultant, and it just happened by accident. Around 2002, I believe it was, and where I had some computer clients I'd known for 20 years. And the local realtors were, they had a unique property, and the local realtors were really weren't getting the job done. So I got involved, and I saw immediately that the standard approach doesn't fit unique properties. And I learned almost immediately that 9 out of 10 sellers of $1 million properties are very dissatisfied with the service of the way the multiple listing service type approach works. They're treated like a number in a database, and they don't like it. And so a lot of what I do is show sellers respect, and in order to earn to provide that respect, I require them to capitalize their own listings. And so I've found that agents that spend their own money, or brokers that spend their own money on direct advertising, they're not doing the math right, because it doesn't make sense to do that. The seller is the one that invested in the property. If the normal real estate methods, search-based methods, aren't working, more needs to be done. And so I have over the years created a large number of a la carte services that I offer to my sellers. Any significant property should have a listing coordinator paid for by the seller on retainer, and who manages a checklist and a schedule to make certain what needs to be done is done. The seller capitalizes it, makes certain what needs to be done is done, and the whole thing is a matter of execution. And my thinking is that a proper budget is 1% to 2% of realistic asking price. Typical broker method is they spend less than 1/10 of 1%. When I was at Sotheby's for 5 years, they never spent a dime on any of my listings. I had to do everything, which I didn't have a problem with. I just needed to know that I was on my own, and once I did, then I figured it out. So in 2008, I joined Sotheby's early 2008, and I started to get some big listings, and the next thing you know, the whole market crashes, and I'm sitting on second and third home listings in a market that's completely stagnated. So to keep from starving, I had to charge sellers. So I started out at $2,500, went to $4,500, $8,500, $12,000, $15,000. I got up where I was doing it in the $30,000 range, and in the end, the sellers didn't have a problem with it because it was inconsequential to the overall transaction. They just wanted somebody to do something and get it done. And if the sellers aren't willing to invest in that, they're probably not serious sellers. And you probably shouldn't be wasting your time. You talk about time management. That's my time management. Don't spend your time on people who aren't serious about selling. And if they won't capitalize their own listings, they're probably not serious. But also, one of the programs that I wanted to initiate with EXP was, kind of a national financing program to capitalize listings. So if sometimes sellers aren't in the same cash position when they sell than they were when they bought. And maybe they just, they don't have the cash, but they've been there for 20 years and they have equity. And so I'd like to provide a financing program I've been able to get them to come up with the cash pretty effectively, but I think it would open the market for more a la carte services. People would be a little more free with their money if it was if there was a financing option. And if the seller doesn't want to pay cash and then they don't want to finance, again, they're probably not serious about selling. So here are the programs I would like to initiate with EXP. I have an app that I've built out, and I can demonstrate the app to you. It is it's a field app for agents, and it's basically is a database of a la carte service providers. And if an agent just happens to be at the property and they they're spending time with the seller anyway, they got to be there anyway because the photographer's shooting the property or whatever. It's an opportunity to see what else might need to be done. Perhaps the driveway needed to be sealed. Perhaps additional photography services are necessary. Perhaps there's social media advertising that needs to be done. Roof repair. I mean, you name it. It doesn't have to just be services. It could be products. It could be water for purification. It could be, it could be solar panels. It could be, just about anything. Either a direct advertising oriented or prepping the house or even surveyors. We went as we keep building. Wherever we can find revenue sources. This is about generating multiple revenue sources for the agent and for EXP. What I found is probably 80% of the Sotheby's franchises are not profitable because they only have one income source. When the market's down, they're kind of screwed. When the market's down, I'm generating revenue through a la carte services. When I was with Sotheby's, when there was a downtime, I was probably 2/3 of my revenue came from a la carte services. While I'm building inventory for when the market turns, I've got the inventory, and my competition was probably in hibernation and probably waiting tables or something. So when the market turns, I got inventory all over the place, and in the meantime, I've been making money because I charge for these things. But whether it's web pages or I even have a archival photographer who's a PhD in architectural history, and he does technical writing for historic properties, and for the architectural description. I have technical writers for very high end luxury. You need professional writers. Agents are not professional writers, so they shouldn't be doing that stuff. You name it. So the app will have those. I can build out an app for a territory, a particular MLS or region, and then we train the agents that they can get residuals from signing up a la carte service providers if they meet the criteria. And while they're getting excited about the revenue potentials of that, they can see how the app works and learn that they can make money while they're already on site doing, they have to be there anyway. They may as well make a couple $100, selling some a la carte services. Makes money for EXP, makes money for the agent. So anyway, to summarize, a la carte services on a market by market basis. What Bob and I are trying to do is find a really aggressive leader in a region that would cooperate with us in building a test market for this concept. And if we can make it work in that test market, then we'll go from city to city to city. I'm a pilot, and my objective is to go from city to city to city, training agents how to capitalize their listings, how to be professionals. People who do things for free are amateurs. Professionals get paid for their services. I can teach the agents how to capitalize their listings, teach them how to use the app, make a nationwide program for listing capitalization financing, and it could be good for everyone. It's good for the seller, it's good for the agent, it's good for EXP, and I think that there's the potential market. If you have 17,000 agents all doing this, it could be just an enormous market, and it helps the agents, so it helps the profitability of the company, multiple income streams for the agents and for the company. It's the difference between being profitable and not being profitable. And I it's not some kind of a scheme. All it is, you're telling the sellers the truth that it's their investment and they need to invest in it. If they want to get the job done, they need to participate. And so all it is years of applied common sense. There's no gimmick in it whatsoever. It's about learning how to convince, in many cases, millionaires or just people with 500,000 and above. It even applies to lesser expensive properties. If you can even just get 500 or $1,000 for a marketing budget instead of having to spend 500 for $1,000, that's a big swing. But basically, you're convincing people with money that you have to spend money to make money. It isn't that hard to do. It's common sense. They already know it. Sometimes nothing in this world is free, and so and that's all you have to do. We have to teach the agents how to do that. And it can be done because I've been doing it for 10 years. It's not that hard. It's just, you just tell them the way it is. And if you have portfolio of what you've sold, they'll go, damn, this guy knows what he's doing. And they'll do it. So anyway, I was hoping to discuss that with you. All we need is a little inertia to get a test market going, a little bit of cooperation. And like I say, I think it could be another curriculum for your coaching service, and maybe we can work together to make something big happen. This is Mike Franklin Rutan. I'm a unique property specialist in upstate New York. Franklin, RUTTAN.com. You can reach me at 315-876-2262. Thanks.